ladies and gentlemen, back to another new stream here on the Overanalyst channel. I am fully rested after a pretty busy day, as remote work goes. Last couple streams I've not really been playing all that well, which is a shame, because this is, again, one of my favorite games of all time. And hopefully we'll do a little bit better today. I was actually curious about something real quick, so I want to check it out. I would assume our Jester's armor isn't the strongest in the world, but yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Looks like just about everything is more resilient than the Jester's armor, which would explain a lot of the deaths we've seen since we picked it up. That said, the benefits certain pieces provide are just so good. So tell you what we might do. We don't need to worry about really being backstabbed or anything like that from enemies for a little while. So, what we're gonna do is replace this with some better armor. Specifically, I think the Elon Knight armor might be a good... Oh, look at how heavy the Ironclad stuff is for not much better stats than what the Elon Knight stuff offers. We could go either Grave Warden or Elon Knight. And hold on. What does this mean? Oh. Our physical defense will give us like a scaling boost. Okay, never realized that. Well, no, let's go for something a bit lighter. Gloves give us more souls, we need those. Those reduce falling damage. We're good on falling damage for now. So there we go, not horrifying at all, right? We're definitely keeping the headpiece. Lots of folks like wearing the Jester's headpiece because it increases that item drop percentage. Now, if you recall, at the end of our last stream, we found out that we actually discovered or explored more or less everything we can in the woods right now, even though there's a ton of stuff we haven't seen down side paths, just because there is so much sealed away behind petrified enemies. We'll need way more fragrant branches to actually get everything here, and I was about to say, did the lion tribesmen not spawn? But no, they just didn't react to us. At least in the vanilla game, and I think this still applies to Scholar, this is like the only place in the entire game these guys appear. And there's just a handful of them, too. I do appreciate that Dark Souls 2 has way more enemies like that are just very, incidental. That way you're not seeing the same folks over and over and over again. It looks like the Chieftain doesn't respawn, though. The one with the gold mane, which was also true in the original, I want to say. He spawned somewhere else, but he wouldn't respawn. Oh, hello? Did we find you our last, like, little mission through here? Before we head onward, we're going to collect any and all loot in these towers, and then actually head back to Majula because there's a certain ring we need to communicate with that giant scorpion. Oh, he's up here now. It's our buddy Creighton. Originally, he was at the bonfire before the fog field.
Just wait. Dirty rats.
He's a little consumed by his hatred for Pate.
Don't you scare me like that. I thought you were him. That bastard with the ring lives in Brightstone Cove down the way. I'm gonna find him and settle the score. Nobody insults me like that.
Brightstone Cove is also where we'll find the inheritor of Seath's soul.
Of the world and for my own honour. I won't let that bastard live another day. For the good.
So he's going off the deep end just a smidge. Skeptic Spice, Soul of a Brave Warrior, okay, good stuff. Oof. As long as they don't bring out the two-handed, or the, like, not power-wielding, I'm sorry, two-handed knives, we should be good. And yeah, looks like that was all we have in the towers for now, anyway. Alright then, so off to Majula, and I want to say we can get the ring we need from Shalqua. Who sells a variety of, like, circumstantially useful rings. You know, like the Silver Cat ring we used to make our way down to the Grave of Saints earlier on. There's a part of me that wishes you could, like, alter your gear's, like, physical appearance, like, just its aesthetics, almost like a style changer or something like that, without having to, like, actually swap out pieces of armor for others, their effects and stats included. That way, you know, you weren't left with kind of ugly-looking mishmash equipment sets like this. But I guess that would also kind of unbalance the multiplayer by eliminating any and all knowledge of what your opponents actually got on them. So, I don't know.
Oh, you do have the time.
I think she sells it. Yeah. Yeah, the Ring of Whispers. Can hear the voices of foes. Ring worn by Roy the Explorer. Hear the inner voices of surrounding foes. Useful for locating hidden enemies, and perhaps for a few other things as well. So what this normally does is just cause us to hear like a little kind of resonant sound effect anytime enemies are around. We don't actually hear them, you know, say anything. But it'll also allow us to communicate with the giant scorpion man by, well, speaking his language, more or less. So we'll head back to the Shaded Ruins, and from there, once we've spoken with him and gotten a little bit of information, the boss is dead ahead. It's right past those ruined towers, and oh man, I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times over the past couple streams, but I remember it being a fairly straightforward boss. Maybe not necessarily easy, but like straightforward. Oh yeah, there goes that dagger. Practically impossible to beat them to a swing, especially with a weapon like this that, unfortunately, like as powerful as the katana is, it's a little slow. Well, more than a little, it's very slow. Now, our guy was down there, I want to say, like, past the basement. No. Oh, damn it all. Cursed, of course. Which hollows us. That's a hell of a build-up. I mean, I knew there was another one down here, but geez. We got everything up here. Now we just need to throw on the ring, I guess in place of this for now, and go talk to him. Let's undo that curse really quick.
Human, are we? This is no place for you.
This is Man Scorpion Tark. He's a friend, actually, and if we wanted to, we could summon him for the upcoming fight.
Afraid of me.
And he's, as you'd imagine, pretty powerful.
Those who do turn back when they see me. Make an attempt.
Hey, MC, how's it going? Hope you've had a good day so far.
Different. We once had a master.
So, he is another subject of Seath's experimentation, ages past.
He resented those who had what he lacked and became fully...
Once human, he was turned into this, unwillingly, I believe. As he says it was a good day, I'm glad to hear it, man. Fantastic.
Peak of this madness that he conjured up these strange creatures.
Finished fixing the roof, right on.
Our master was a tragically lonely soul. Eventually, his solitude eroded his very reason. In the end,
Nobody knows when we were born, or where our master has gone.
Oh, he's still around.
Myself and my better half.
MC says don't have to trigger that fear of heights for a while now. Oh yeah, man, acrophobia is the worst. I also get a little antsy at great heights with low or no barriers. Yeah, so he actually wants us to kill his mate. Because she's gone mad as a result of, well, this whole thing for centuries. And she is our boss here.
We seem to be at a standstill. The wounds we exchange are never lethal. I was born my master's madness. Perhaps this is some curse. I will be sure to assist you in return.
So now we could summon him for the boss if we wanted to.
Distant fog. My name was Tark. That is all that I remember. The path, my name.
Right. Okay, so now I believe if we come back to Man Scorpion Tark after defeating the boss here, he will give us a special reward. Some kind of ring or something like that. Just a little treasure, but nice to have all the same. Oh, we need so many fragrant branches. Since we don't have any, though, let's just carry on to the boss proper. And actually, to increase our survivability, I kind of like the Grave Warden stuff, but since it won't weigh us down much more than we already have been, let's go over to the... Oh no, sorry, we fat roll if we do that. Let's wear the Elan chest piece, at least. And maybe pair that with, oh, Jester's tights, why not? Yeah, it looks silly, but that chest piece is really, really good as it happens. Let's try to farm the Lion Tribe guys just a little bit more, because they do drop stuff. They actually have an entire armor set, believe it or not. Drops from them are just pretty rare, as I recall. MZ says making sure the bots stay away. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate that. At the same time, it's also like, is this something I should be proud of? That, like, I get just enough traffic now to justify bots wandering in? Hey. So we've only got 6 of our Estus flasks, which is fine. If I recall, this boss is either going to lay me flat in a matter of seconds, or we're going to thrash her very easily. Oh no, bots come randomly. So as we could see, we could summon in Tark here, and yeah, he's pretty strong, but I'd rather not, actually. We should be able to handle this one on our own in a 1 or 2 shots, probably. So, this is our boss, and we don't have a boss health meter yet. She's just firing sorceries at us. Attack her once, and now we can begin the fight proper. Meet Scorpioness Najka. Look familiar? She should. So she is actually a caster. She knows pretty powerful soul sorceries, but leaves herself vulnerable with attacks like that pretty often. So that is really our goal here. Sever the tails if we can, like just to decrease her defensive capabilities if we attack from the rear, and just whittle her down slowly but surely. She doesn't have the most health in the world. But when you deal damage like that, you kind of don't need to, am I right? There we go. She also has a burrowing attack that she can do, like that will require you to stand here on this exposed masonry to avoid getting just thrown into the air. MC says she's at the tail end of her life. Here's hoping. Just wait for her to surface. Over there. Oh shit. Yeah. We don't get anything for severing the tails, but it does make the fight a bit easier. So there we go, Scorpioness Najka, one of the easier fights at this stage of the game, like, handily. I actually really like that fight. You can get her to knock this down in the course of the fight. I think there's just a couple flame butterflies on that corpse, so, you know, nothing to worry about. Because, again, a bit like the Ornstein fight from earlier in the game, that is a clear reference to Dark Souls 1 without it being a reiteration of the same exact things in the same exact context. Seath was clearly inspired by the Chaos Flame when he created more of his esoteric, shall we say, spawn toward the end of his life. And I quite enjoy that fact being reflected here. And again, I would say it's not just Caelag again, because she fought very differently. At least normally, she's supposed to use, like, homing soul mass and soul spear, along with all of her melee strikes and combos, and is meant to be somewhat more defensively oriented than I think Caelag was, or at least, again, that was the initial intent. Caelag was a very aggressive, like, physical attacker. So I appreciate that. We're bringing back thematic, or we're making thematic allusions to Dark Souls 1 without just bringing back the exact same mechanics or anything like that. Pretty good.
You've defeated my better.
Now let's see what he gives us.
This is my thanks. Take it.
Hey! Good, a fragrant branch. We really need some of those.
To pray to. But still, I pray that your journey will be safe.
He'll teach us a nice little gesture, and that is it. A very interesting character, and pretty helpful, too. Now, with Najka out of the way, we have access to, not aesthetically, not in terms of its design or its boss or anything like that, but for a special reason, one of my favorite areas in the entire series. Well, actually, okay, its enemies are pretty cool, if I'm being honest. But, yeah, onward. It's about to get fun. It's about to get real fun. Straight on through here and down into the earth. We're not going anywhere near as deep as we did while pursuing the Rotten, but we're going a ways down and probably back into the past, given the way this game works. This is a pretty cool area aesthetically as well, I should point out. Welcome, ladies and gents, to the Doors of Pharros. This, at least in Dark Souls 2, is kind of the home area of the Gurm, Govlan's people. And they are, except for him, rather aggressive, so we're going to be fighting dwarves swinging around massive stone shields and anvils crudely refashioned into warhammers. These are not the Gurm, these are some of, or this is one of King Vendrick's Mastodon Knights, again. They look really cool. This one's been obviously weathered a bit by all its time spent down here. Yeah, we get the rusted Mastodon set from those. We can get the proper Mastodon set from knights in slightly better shape later on. The Gurm have some of the best armor in the game, but it is almost unconscionably heavy. Oh, we got their Great Shield and the helmet on the first try. That is really good. I really like the Doors of Pharros for numerous reasons. This, I think, is where Gavlan ultimately ends up. Like, his permanent position later in the game once we find and speak to him everywhere. I say everywhere, there's like one other little stop he can make. Here's the other model of Gurm we saw on the path to the Shaded Woods. They actually deal more damage than like the knights with the Great Shields and all that. But have less armor, I believe. A dragon charm. Okay. So, yeah, Doors of Pharros. Something pretty interesting. We can walk straight through this place. Like, there is a brand new area right up there, and that's it. We can leave this place behind. You can clear the Doors of Pharros, theoretically, in about 30 seconds. But the real reason folks come to the Doors of Pharros is right over here. See, this, friends, is the so I'm all for it. This is the place where I like to do my Rat King farming. But first, we've got to check out Najka's soul. Najka was born of the misdeeds of an ancient being, a frail soul from the beginning that soon succumbed to madness. Right. And we can use her soul for some pretty cool stuff, actually. But first things first, back to Majula to level up a few times. Before we do the DLC, which will be a while, we may actually, I've been considering this, want to seriously respec. Like, now that I've got more sorceries in my back pocket, we may want to lean more heavily in that direction, or repurpose ourselves to be a more, like, proficient fighter.
Here, to see luck, however.
We've just got the one shard, I think, the one we picked up in the gutter. Yeah. Okay. Let's not forget that Rosabeth, the pyromancy trainer, is right over there as well. I say, let's finally get that stamina up to 20. We're quickly evolving into like a jack of all trades, master of none, largely because, well, Dark Souls 2 added additional, additional stats.
Majula, thanks entirely to you. You even were kind enough to clothe me. Thank you so very much.
We had more than enough Elan armor, that's fine.
Is pyromancy. But if that might help you, come to me. I finally tracked down my teacher. But I've decided to keep at it alone. I need to see what I can achieve by myself. Master Carillion and I are from Malphia to the south, a land lush with sorcery and pyromancy. Master Carillion polished his art at one of our renowned magic academies. But he argued that the academies were terrible places to learn magic. This quite angered Master Glocken, my previous teacher.
The Pyromancer Glocken, if you recall, made the, like, elemental resistance rings we found. Like, you know, that give us additional dark or magic resistance, etc. Does she have anything new to sell, then? Yeah, Glocken made all of these rings, the quartz rings. No, just the same basic pyromancies. Poison Mist is a pretty fun one, but nothing for now. Thank you very much. Do we have more Titanite chunks, or how many Titanite chunks do we have? Not enough. We're missing just one we need to create the ultimate katana. Anything new from Mothlan? Have we spent enough to unlock the third stage of his shop? Yes, we have.
Care to look over my wares? Please, be my guest.
He's way more confident now because he thinks he's getting tons of business.
Although it may be a bit out of your reach.
Even though all of that business came from us and the poor guy's just so far gone, he can't recognize that. So he now stocks the Alva armor, which is absolutely fantastic light armor. As well as, is that the only thing he added to his stock by default? I think so, but if we spend a bit more, he'll give us like a couple special items, I think.
I'm rich. I don't need... Oh.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he gone. Let me check something real quick while we're at it. I just want to make sure we didn't miss a summon for our new NPC companion that's effectively going to be taking Lucatiel's place. Yeah. Okay. Hold on, sorry, I'm just reading. Okay. Alright. Got it. So, again, to complete Berhardt's quest line, the really cool Scottish knight with the possible Dark Moon or Blue Moon Greatsword, we just have to summon him in for 3 boss fights and have him survive all 3. And unlike Lucatiel, he can be summoned for a ton of them. And the DLC added even more, which is pretty cool. So now we're going to head back to the doors of Pharros and the Gurm's Respite, sorry. And take on the second Rat King dungeon. Now, even though this one's so much more fun to actually command, it is pretty difficult compared to the Grave of Saints to actually make our own way through, because the boss here is much harder than the Royal Rat Authority. Or, sorry, Royal Rat Vanguard. Notice, though, since we are Rat King, these guys won't attack us. They recognize. We've got some rather canine-looking plague rats here. Rusted Mastodon Knights. Nah, we won't use flame butterflies yet. I'll set the dungeon up once we actually clear out the boss. Amber herbs, sure. This is the environment I grew so attached to back in high school. Oh. Love this area so much. The water even slows your movement, making this, combined with the fast-attacking plague rats and massive Gurm and Mastodon units, a lot of fun for contestants. The Twisted Barricade, no idea what that is, and then, like, some cash. So hold on, let me check this really quickly. Twisted Barricade. It's a hex. A hex that distorts local space. For a brief moment, spells are deflected. Ooh, nice. Hexer Galea never took an apprentice, making it unclear how his spells were passed down. It's even possible that these hexes came from another source entirely. How's it hanging, man? Just holding it down? Pardon me, sir? What's in here? I have no idea. That was a switch. Is this trapped? It's gotta be trapped, right? Yep. Titanite chunk and petrified dragon bone. Ooh, nice. Hey, that's the last chunk we need to make, like, the perfect katana. And a lockstone and some cash. Good, good. Oh, these statues. I love these guys. So if you place a lockstone in the corresponding slot, these statues will activate and begin throwing massive stone axes at specifically designated spots on the ground below. You can activate, yeah, I think one right here to guard the bridge, and another two to rain down axes in the cistern below, like just creating a massive kill corridor down there in conjunction with your own presence as like the dungeon, I don't want to say dungeon master because that makes people think D&D, but it's effectively what you are. And all of the enemies. Very, very nice. Should hit, yeah, okay, here we go. Here's our second bonfire. Now, fair warning, friends. This next fight, can actually be really hard. See, there's one great big boss enemy. It's not like the Royal Rat Vanguard where we have to lure the boss out. It's here from the beginning, with a couple of, I think, toxin dealing plague rats. They're very weak, but because they're small and all, quite difficult to hit. So what we want to do is try to use these dark orbs to just wear down the ads right off the bat. The big boy still hurts a lot. It's that giant thing up there, the Royal Rat Authority. Oh, Dark Orb, why is your effective range so small? Here it comes. Yeah, this thing is the Royal Rat Authority. Imagine if Seath was a gigantic plague rat. It's oddly canine for a rat, but hardly the weirdest thing we've seen in the world of Dark Souls. Oof. No, 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 it hit us with toxic. Well, we're dead. MC says this is a reference to Seath, but one you don't need to feel bad about. Oh no, no, I feel bad about this because remember, the rats are like some of the kindest, most noble creatures in this world. They're just defending their burrow, so yeah. Notice, that thing afflicted me with toxin. Basically, poison on crack. With all of 2 little hits. Now, the best way to deal with this is to replace our pretty decent Dark Orb with a longer ranged Soul Arrow. Like, Great Soul Arrow should probably do the trick. And once it's down to just us and the big guy, they should go pretty quietly. I mean, it deals damage like you wouldn't believe, but... I will just keep this ugly staff for now. Soul Arrow does have a longer range than Dark Orb, I believe. Like a much longer range. Yeah, see? Problem. It's nowhere near as powerful. And already we're almost toxic again. Oh man, that was close. Okay, so that's the worst of it over and done with. Now we just need to... Oh dear, I'm sorry about that. We've got the neighbor's dog again, ladies and gents. Now the Authority, at least I want to say compared to Seath, given the amount of damage I'm dealing, which is pretty high for this stage of the game, has a pretty respectable pool of health. Oh, is it limping just like poor Seath did? Aw, buddy. Oh, and it's puking acid. Okay. I had no idea it could do that, actually. And that was the Royal Rat Authority. We get another rat tail. And its soul. It probably says something that I feel more sympathy for the Royal Rat Authority than I do for Seath, but... Soul of the Royal Rat Authority of the Underground Realm. Those who choose to serve the Rat King must have the courage to face his challenges. And with that, we have unlocked another audience chamber for the Rat King, another place where we can conveniently go to offer our rat tails. Here he is. No new dialogue, he's used to this by now.
My servant.
And it just drops us right back out here, outside of the Rat King dungeon. Oh, there was something I missed out here? My bad. First off, what'd he drop? Oh, the Gurm Great Hammer. This is my best friend's favorite weapon in the base game. It's great for strength builds. And so he says, this Monday during my Survivor roleplay game, my character received a special pet. Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. It's like some kind of fey deer looking thing. Aw, that's precious. Now, real quick, going to use our torch, not like it has many other uses, to shed a little light on our brand new puzzle dungeon. Well, I say puzzle dungeon. Fun dungeon. Bunch of prism stones, sure. Fior is the name I picked. Very nice. And then, friends, if you will indulge me once again, I'm going to, pimp out our dungeon just a little bit, and then see if we can't pull in some contestants. Again, at least back when I played vanilla Dark Souls 2, like, religiously, there were plenty of contestants here, more or less all the time. Not so for the Grave of Saints, but, oh, the Gurm Axe, and another torch. Nice. No other sconces here, but how many lockstones do I have really quick? I have 5. Wow, okay. Also notice that this dungeon is much longer than the Grave of Saints, meaning we get to have way more fun with the folks we call in. You do feel much more like an actual in-game boss here, I think. This area is also, like, with all of its narrow pathways and great vertical vantage points, perfect for my incredibly cowardly PvP style. Now, what happens if we... I think I'll start with the bottom and largely work my way around, but one thing I want to introduce right... Oh yeah, you can also, like, activate these little slots which spit out saw blades straight ahead. So much fun. I do want to activate one of the stone guardians. At least it should have activated. No? Not yet? Alright. That's fine. Have we lit every sconce we can? Yeah, alright, well. MC says, I love how I got the pet. Oh, please, do share. While I open up this little room, which contains an additional Mastodon Knight, and some treasure, I believe. It's sealed by 3 different stone barriers. This is why I love the Rat King Covenant. This area right here. Santier's Spear. Santier's Spear is one of the most unique weapons in the entire series, and it's actually, for those who put in the time to develop it properly, apparently really, really, really good. I'll explain more once we get our paws on... or back to the bonfire. Let's open up this little passage with our last lockstone, revealing a Gurm with an anvil flail. Perfect. Good. Good addition to the crew. Now, if we're going to be handling invasions and the like, we definitely want some backstab-proof kit. Let's see. What looks suitably imposing, Yeah, there we go. I don't really like mix and match armor, but this looks suitably terrifying to welcome newcomers to the dungeon. Now, gotta get in position. There was a way I used to do this all the time when I was younger and more proficient in the ways of the rat. So you come over here and we're gonna hop on up to that overlook. Slowly, slowly. MC says, there's an area protected by a guardian and shadow wolves, keeping animals safe. Imagine a scary shepherd. Lots of creatures like that in mythologies the world over. We were kicked out of the area because we broke one of the mini rules and would have been killed if we came back. I went to talk to the guardian regardless of the danger, made an offering to the animals, and got to talk with him. I explained the danger that was coming, dangerous enough for our group to run away. Sounds interesting. Typically in RPGs, it's always a good idea to appease the angered with, gifts, treasure, food, things like that. Always worked for me and my group during the, brief period of time I spent as part of a role-playing campaign. Now, let's see if we can't get some takers. What? Trespassing summoning failed, but we summoned a gray spirit. Oh, never mind. Let's try that again. From the top. Come on, we had somebody on the line. I got all dolled up for this. Alright, let's try this the other way. Gonna head on out to our bonfire. Specifically the Royal Rat Authority bonfire at Ordeal's End. MC says, told me I wouldn't be killed for that. I walked away expecting nothing and got the companion pet just for being nice to a scary neighbor. I love it in RPGs, tabletop or otherwise, when players are always rewarded for taking kind or diplomatic approaches to maybe frightening characters. Yes, yes, fog doors, we've got someone, we got one! Oh, check this out. Gotta get ready, it's been a while. Oh, I love this dungeon. Hello! Welcome! I was about to say, are they AFK? That'd be bad. Ooh, they're a toughie. Oh, they're very toughie. Lucky me. Germ tend to be pretty resistant to, well, most things. Great job, though. Great job. Oh, they just noticed me. Right. Well, welcome. Alright, Germ, places. Oh, now you decide to start throwing axes. Oh, wow, he is just... Oh, good job, you. Back up. Oh, he's got stamina up the ass, doesn't he? Wow. What a contestant. I might actually need to work for this one. I like this. Somebody likes their pyromancy a whole bunch, don't they? Whoa, is he using a similar weapon to mine? Nice. Damn! Somebody actually won. Nice job. I gotta say, that wasn't bad at all. Now, he managed to, like, just jump security really easily, which wasn't something I was expecting, but hey, fair play to him. Well done, well done. That's never going to happen again. Now, of course, he was using plenty of herbs, the amber and I think twilight herbs to recharge your spell uses, but, well, it's part and parcel of being a sorcerer build, I suppose. Yep, there's some of the stone axes right there. Let's try again. It's becoming clear as I participate willingly and unwillingly in more and more multiplayer. My stamina is really underdeveloped. Because a lot of other players have just been able to, like, run or swing circles around me. That's one of the serious downsides to going for such a disorganized kind of generalist build as we have. Nothing now? Seriously? We'll try warping to the other bonfire once more, because I would like to actually get a win here on my favorite dungeon. Give it just a minute. Hold on. While I take a quick drink. Well, I guess while we're waiting, I could explain Santier's Spear. Let me find it. There it is. A spear that was embedded in a stone statue. According to an old local legend, a great spear was used to defeat Santir, the walking statue. Perhaps this is that very spear, but it'll be difficult to utilize such a thing in the manner of a spear. Your only choice is to swing it around and smite foes about the head, hence why it's technically a halberd. Now, Santir's Spear has, I think, the highest durability in the entire game, far and away. And, as we know, durability is fully replenished as long as an item isn't broken every time you rest at a bonfire. I'm sure you can see where this is going. If you manage to deplete Santir's Spear's durability entirely, if you manage to break it, you actually shatter, like, the stone statue's head, like clogging up the shaft of it, and transform it into a very unique spear with a totally unique moveset that isn't seen or resembled by anything else anywhere else in the game. And again, there's a couple tricks to, like, depleting its durability, like if you don't want to just, say, have to go through many areas without ever resting at a bonfire or something like that, or needing to. But according to, like, quite a lot of players, it is worth it because it's a pretty good little treasure. No takers. So is our only contestant we got today going to be one who defeated us? Wow. Well, I'm hungry for a little more Rat King action, so real quick, I know, I'm sorry, I've been holding up these streams quite a bit just for in futile attempts to show off this content. But, we'll head on over to the Grave of Saints real quick, and if we can't pull anybody over there, head back here. You do actually want to pull a lot of contestants and actually defeat them in the Rat King Covenant, because there's tons of treasure, like, sealed away in the doors of Pharros. Well, I guess, like Val said a couple days ago, one of our friends in the audience, at this point, most of the PvP actually going on in Dark Souls 2 would be relatively high level, and B, let me just head over back to the Doors of Pharros. Most folks would probably want to avoid these areas by now if they hadn't already, like, explored them thoroughly in their own playthroughs, so... Oh no, we've got one. Alright then, Milky Wilkies, welcome! Another caster build too, look at that! Ooh, a fairly fragile caster build, but one I'm sure packing some serious firepower. Oh yeah, check out that axe. Welcome! Oh, got hit with that poison from the security rats. And that is how most duels in the Doors of Pharros actually end. The security rats just get on them while the big Mastodon Knights distract them, and oh, a fun time is had by all, and by all I mean me. Might actually want to activate more of the security in this little side hall. This is a little anticlimactic, but hey, I'll take it. After the first guy put up such a really valiant and honestly pretty damn impressive fight, you do get some of those. What's in here? Another rat, probably? No, another germ. Nice. Need to remember to swap Dark Orb back in for that Great Soul Arrow. Spells. So we can actually use most of the stuff we have just not a couple of the really high level sorceries, which is impressive. Go ahead and there we go. One last time. Any takers? Any passengers for the party train? No? Alright. Time to head on back to the... Well, first, reconfigure our equipment, because it got all messed up for PvP. What little of it we've seen. Let's go back to that gesture set with the Elan chest piece. That worked pretty well against Najka. So if we head back to the Gurm's Respite, we can fight our way through what little remains of the Doors of Pharros, and then tackle Brightstone Cove, which is where we will find the final Lord Soulbearer, the inheritor of Seath's soul, Again, interesting, seeing as how he didn't actually have a Lord Soul to begin with, but just had a shard of Gwen's. I guess because he was like such a memorable and despicable character from the first game. Mundane Stone. And the Inheritor of Gwen's Soul actually has one of the better Inheritor fights. Old Iron King was unfortunately not super great, and the Rotten was alright. Looked pretty cool anyway. The regular Gurm Helm, not as heavy as the Warrior variant, the ones with all of the like little scale mail that, say, Gavlan was wearing. But the Inheritor of Seath's Soul is, yeah, it's where it's at. Here we have a Gurm Axe Thrower. I wish we got to see more of these guys, and especially, I wish there was like an actual Gurm boss. Because they seem to have a really interesting looking material culture that we don't get to explore as much as I'd like. Regular Gurm gloves. Another great helm. Alright, we'll take it. Can't really use it, but we'll take it. It looks cool. Kind of a bit like a diving, old school diving helmet or something. And with that, we are effectively through with the doors of Pharros already. Some healing items, and welcome. With this cheery sight, I welcome you to Brightstone Cove Tseldora, the personal domain of the avaricious and slightly deranged Duke Tseldora. The goal here is pretty simple. Climb down to the bottom of the Brightstone Cove and, well, break into the Duke's compound and attempt to get that last Lord Soul. Sound familiar? It should. Now, interesting thing. Early on here in Tseldora, most of the enemies, and all of the enemies in the vanilla version, are just these, like, peasant laborers, wearing kind of drab-looking clothing and all that, but like the enemies in the gutter, they have dark, enhanced weapons, somehow. Meaning, despite not being the toughest guys around, or the most, like, physically imposing, they deal immense amounts of damage with their little tools. The Volgan Falconers are here as well, along with giant pigs. Literally just larger versions of those pretty badass little piglets from Majula. The boars will mess you up. I should add. They really will. Went a little wide there, didn't you, buddy? Ooh. Dang it. Now, I don't think the Falconers can drop their armor just because you can buy it... Oh, stone, alright. Because you can buy it pretty cheaply from Mochlin from the start of the game. Now, there's actually two bosses in Brightstone Cove, one of which is kind of notorious. And is also the first boss I think we can summon Burhart for. Can I just bring down the scaffolding you're on? That'd be better, right? And what do you know? I can. Oh no, they do drop the armor. Never mind. Good way to get some falconer armor if you haven't bought some already. Yeah, so see, originally, this area was just packed full of the dark enhanced Tseldoran laborers. Who I think honestly just fit the area better than the falconers do. Like, originally, they just spawned to attack you a couple times, like, beginning and things betwixt in a new game plus, as brand new enemies. And it was cool to see them, I guess, in the Shaded Woods. But compared to, like, the kind of darkness theme Tseldora generally has going for it, they just don't seem quite as cool to me. They've got a cool moveset. I like the fact that they fire 2 arrows at once, and they're, like, one of the closest things to really solidly built dex fighting enemies you'll see. But, they just don't do it for me. Now here, we want to break down the structure supporting this well. Trust me on this. Like that. Because we want to jump down this well. In due time, of course. Did we clear out everything else? Yeah, looks like it. Good, okay. Get some cash. Why not? Now let's see if we can't jump down the well. It can be a little tricky. Because it's pretty easy to overshoot it, actually. There we go. And we've got some holy water urns down here, as well as a boar. I mean, sure. Did it drop a stone or anything this time? No? This brings us into this little enclosed area we just got the cash from the other side of not long ago. And also to a mimic. Yay! What just happened? We just kind of got crushed by the mimic's unfolding animation for whatever reason. Like, that's weird. That's the second time that's happened, but doesn't matter. We got a special staff as well as the Dark Wraith leggings, so that little detour is well worth it. Let's check out this new staff. The Staff of Wisdom. Oh yeah, this is Falcon's staff, but it needs 50 intelligence to wield. Are you kidding me? Oh no, this is Strayed Staff. I'm sorry. Staff of the Lost Land of Olafis. Sorcery-dedicated catalyst, cannot be used to cast hexes. The crystal at the tip of the staff greatly augments spell strength. Already a finely crafted staff, made even more effective by its crystal, the brilliance of which is being polished over time with powerful magic. Speaking of, powerful magic, there's a certain key we might need to, unlock a very important NPC function. I don't know that we have it yet. We might get it here? Question mark? So that's Brightstone Cove, which may or may not be like the remnants of the Crystal Cave at this point. There are rock traps waiting for us, of course. And the guy who set the rock free killed himself with it. Nice. Get some cash. The peasant long gloves. They do have a unique armor set that you can't find anywhere else, I believe. Anything up here? No? Dig the hat. Believe it or not, we are not far at all from the first boss. Now, yeah, remember what I said. Tseldorans can actually deal a lot of damage with dark weapons, despite not being that intimidating. Titanite chunk, nice. Use a life gem here so we don't just burn through what Estus we've got left. There's gonna be lots of Titanite here. Now they surprisingly don't seem to have greater than average dark resistance. Please tell me we get the hat. No, just a torch. I want that hat, man. Hat? Oh, they're regular armor, the peasant attire. And, yeah, welcome to, the series of old, kind of, like, timeless, abandoned structures that Tseldora is built around. The Writhing Ruin. Can you guess what the gimmick here is going to be? Yeah, it's exactly what you think it's gonna be. It's spiders. It's lots and lots of spiders. Now, speaking as somebody who doesn't really like spiders all that much, this is gonna be fun. Now, the spiders are very weak, thankfully. They can, I believe, dive on your head and deal a great amount of damage, but aside from that, they aren't all that intimidating individually. The Writhing Ruin is not going to have us fighting them individually, of course. We're going to want to light that at some point, trust me on this. First boss is right around the corner, though. And we will not need these dark orbs for the boss, believe you me. Oh, here they come. Jeez, that damage. Yep, here they come. Here a ton of them come. Real easy to get overwhelmed here. Thankfully, Dark Orb gives us a pretty large clip for a decently powerful little spell. And notice the spiders drop items. Whatever could a spider drop? Well, weapons, actually. They drop a couple pretty decent weapons. Bandit axes and mail breakers, and I think in the original game, I don't know about this version, they could drop, like, Ricard's rapier, somehow. Guess the spiders got to him. We'll go ahead and hit a flame butterfly real quick to light these sconces. You aren't a mimic, are you? No? Are you otherwise trapped? Yep. The hell was that? Would it have just attracted the spiders or invaders or something? Right. Okay. Boss time. Now, we can get Burhart's help for this. And since this boss is famous for one thing in particular, this will be one of the bosses I would feel the least guilty or cheap for summoning an NPC for. I was not kidding when I said, like, the boss is right off the bat. The second one is going to be a good little deal, a good little ways away. But we should have time to take down the second boss and get a good a good maybe half through the end game of like vanilla Dark Souls 2, not the DLC. We want to save the DLC for pretty late game. You'll see why. Berhart should be here. Hold on. Or Benhart, sorry. Oh, okay. Okay, so we can't summon him because there's like one conversation we'd have to go back for, and it's not worth it, so I'm going to take on this boss. Yes, I'm going to fight a boss with, like, no projectiles, 2 Estus flasks. Don't worry. I will be just fine. You definitely want to watch this one. This is one we might want to clip. Without, like, just keeping you in suspense, this is Dark Souls 2's answer to Pinwheel. The boss is the Prowling Magus and his congregation. The Magus is an admittedly, like, reasonably punchy hexer, and his congregation is made up of just a bunch of those crawling, like, kind of legless hollows we've seen scattered around the game. Like, oh, where did we first see them? I forget, I'm sorry. And a couple of priests that cast really basic miracles. That's it. Everybody's really fragile. There aren't many of them. They should drop pretty quickly. But first things first, let's get ourselves some treasure. And fight us some spiders. A great sight. Jesus. These spiders have militarized. We get the priestess set. You can hear the mages chanting. Alright, y'all ready for this? Now, just remember, we could summon in a really powerful NPC to help. Oh, there was another spider. Never mind. So, for the most part, the congregation can't do anything. The priests, like the ritual assistants, can. And they can heal. The Magus and friends mainly just like cast hexes at you from a distance, like Dark Orb. I think the idea is the congregation is supposed to like be really severely impeding your way, but they don't. Oh, ouch, I guess. Gonna try to get rid of the entire congregation before we start working our way through the Magus' health bar. I really like the look of the Magus, though. Like, that is a awesome design. Oh, but of course these guys are kind of hard to hit. Oh, they can poison you, wow. I've actually never known that. Okay. How about a hexing urn? Will this do you? Yep. Alright. Just me and the Magus. Can we backstab them? No, maybe not, but looks like we probably won't need to. 4 attacks, there we go. Boss defeated. He drops a Titanite slab, not even a soul or anything. And with the chapel cleared, we should get another bonfire almost right off the bat. Yeah, right over here. See? Yeah. Now, don't let me forget, we need to head back to Majula to pick up, MC said, whoops, Dark Ritual got cancelled because of Corona. No, Dark Ritual got cancelled because of me. Got cancelled because of me and 4 swings of the katana. Oh, and I never re-equipped my serpent ring. Pity, pity. Well, let's use those chunks and slabs to reinforce our katana even further. It is now peak katana. So yeah, what did we think of that fight? Remember, we could summon an absolute badass to help with that if we wanted to. Hold on, do I have anything to burn? Bone ash or the like? I don't think so. MC says that fight's made to intimidate. Sure, and I have the feeling that originally, like in the basic design, the intent was to have the congregation and all of the like furniture strewn around the chapel severely impede your movement. And MC says if you don't go full in, you'll get wrecked. You can, actually. But I was surprised to see, actually looking at damage in that particular fight, the congregation are way more dangerous than the magus or his adjutants. Or their adjutants, I should say. And it seems like they had a great idea and it just wasn't realized properly. Come on, we kept the ring on all this time. We gonna have some fun? No takers? Oh, I'm just a fiend for it. You know I am. Speaking of, we now have damage on our katana of over 300 per slash. Very nice. Well, base damage, I should say. Well, damage factored together with, like, our dex modifier. There we go. So, going to have to replace our ring with, like, the covetous gold serpent ring, which would explain why we didn't get, like, a full set of, Gurm or peasant's armor yet. And fight our way through the remainder of the cove. Though first we want to check out... Oh, red eye orb. A couple little areas around the chapel itself. Oh, and just get ready for spiders out the ass from this point on. They're everywhere in here, and they actually serve as the main enemies of this entire area, not the peasants. This guy look familiar? It's the partner from Dark Souls 1. Well, a different partner, but wearing Velka's raiment.
Yes, I can tell. It is written upon your face.
Yeah, something's bothering me. I just climbed up into an attic full of spiders the size of grown men.
Regret, anguish.
And this doesn't bother you?
We will limit what wonderful gifts they are. Together, they are the essence of life. Don't you agree? But now, you're lost, bewildered by your...
So he'll absolve your sin, i.e. the, like, technical bounty you get placed on your head for invading and the like.
How tiny and frail are we? But if your heart is yet sincere, your sins will be forgiven. Now is the chance. Demonstrate your sincerity to me. Anyone can be forgiven, as long as he is sincere, no matter how terrible the sin. Surely, we all deserve mercy. Yes.
No idea why he's here. So he sells the white priest set, worn by the Magus's attendants. I don't know that he did in the original game. It's pretty good for a miracle build, I believe. And he sells a variety of, like, fairly robust mid-game miracles, and then a single hex for whatever reason. some, like, status effect resistant items. That's pretty solid stuff all around. Bunch of fading souls up here that the spiders were just feeding on. A bonfire ascetic, we don't want or need that. Fading soul with the cleric's small shield. Do we already have the cleric's small shield? No, we have the cleric's parma. The small shield can also deflect spells with a parry, and it is just a little bit more robust than the standard parma. Looks pretty cool for what it is, but it ain't quite our Watch Dragon parma that has seen us through most of the game. Skeptic Spice, another Fading Soul. Alright, so just some nice items, nothing mind-blowing, but hey. Lots of folks accidentally dove down to their deaths here, it would appear. Not as foolish as it looks. There is, like, special treasure you can only get by, I think, maybe jumping over there or something. Oh, notice, that guy. That is a white-garbed necromancer. Actually, it's like the same character model from Huntsman's Copse. Only these attack with powerful, but slightly slow, homing soul arrows. We want to get rid of them as quickly as possible. Speaking of things I want to get rid of, more spiders. They drop a fair amount of souls, too. Soul of a Proud Knight, okay. We'll probably want to light that later. Oh god. Spider ambush. The worst kind of ambush. A Zweihanda, one of the spiders, was just carrying around a giant greatsword. Why not? We got the Hollow Mage Hood, the White Hollow Mage Hood. The Necromancers have, like, just a dark version of, I'm pretty sure, the same exact armor. Oh. Stupid Katana and Lizards. Probably shouldn't lock on, then. Oh, what have we here? Why, it's good old Creighton and Pate just going at it. And each of them wants us to help defeat the other. And we get, like, the armor and arms of whichever one we kill, I believe, if we take them down. And even though they're both horrible people, I like Creighton's armor a bit more, so that's what I'm gonna go for. This should do it. Yeah, we get his mask anyway. It's of charcoal pine resin. This is the end of their quest line.
Could have caused this.
Or no, maybe you only get the rest of the armor set if you don't kill
I owe you my life.
Creighton. Whoops.
My little pied à terre lies beyond here.
Doesn't really matter, I suppose.
You'll find some of my treasures there. Help yourself to those that suit you. Here, use this key.
We got the Tseldora Den key.
On your travels. Be cool.
Alright. Goodbye, horrible traveling companions. Anything in here? Just a spider ambush. Because of course. They've learned how to set ambushes. We are screwed. See, the darkness can be a force for good. Let's see what that new key has to say. Opens the den and key to the den in Brightstone Cove Tseldora. The fools that venture into Tseldora, unaware of the ancient deeds that still haunt the cove, are transfigured into unspeakable malformations. And notice the key's got strange rings, like, run all around its shaft. There should be 1 or even 2 more bonfires in Tseldora. It's another one of those very dense but not particularly long areas, which is the way I generally tend to like them. We got another torch. Good. Oh, and there goes another lizard. Whatever. This is a spider that has, like, I believe hybridized, yeah, a Tseldoran. They are very nasty enemies. And actually pretty dangerous. Just as the spiders themselves. Oh god. Where did it go? Oh, and this spider, right, its claws, legs technically were coated in poison. They actually dropped the Tseldora armor set somehow, including the Tseldora robe, which I think is actually what Mothlan is wearing, for whatever reason. Oh right, no, so there is a switch back here that we will have to remember. Welcome to the back half of Tseldora, or the other half, I should say. MC says spiders everywhere. Oh, you ain't seen the half. It gets worse. It gets much worse. And no newspaper. Yeah. Just a giant sword. Well, I say giant. This is a very large sword, but it's nothing by Dark Souls standards. Ah! That switch might have lowered the chest. Let's have a look-see. Southern Ritual Band +1 gives us more attunement slots, maybe? Like, even more? Yeah, that might come in handy, especially after a little respec later on. It's another one of those guys. We want to eliminate the... Are my dark orbs not homing properly? There we go. I was to say, eliminate the problem before it begins there. There's just 1 or 2 more of those special hollow mages out here. Now, as I said, they do respawn, so we're not getting rid of them for good. And the boss, believe it or not, is just right over there. We are almost there already. Even though there's still plenty to explore, of course. I think if you light all the torches around here, you can spawn another Forlorn, maybe? Which, believe it or not, is something we want to do. An eyeless basilisk. Well, a basilisk without its giant eyes. You can see those little, like, yellow specks on the sides of its mouth. Those are its actual eyes. Oh god, spiders and a spider commander. The ones with the, toxic claws. Parrying dagger. They're building an arsenal. My arachnophobia is probably showing pretty strongly in this particular stream. Too heavy to open. Yeah, the entire door is just blocked by sand. We can fix that. Just a moment. More Titanite. No secret passages, right? Okay. So right, about this blocked door. Jammed to the brim with sand. So, if we say launch a few orbs into it, One more, maybe? No? Maybe we have to throw something at it? We could destroy the door. We just don't want all that sand coming loose on us. There we go! Nice. The Tseldora Den key can be used to open this little area. A trap here. Well, what's in the metal chest first? Engraved gauntlets. And in the trapped chest? Oh yeah, that's a bomb.
Ooh, that'll leave a nice scar.
Pate. Well, since Pate clearly wants to kill us, next time we see him, why don't we return the favor, eh? Oh, never mind. What's in here? Oh, more torches. For the sconces, no doubt. Large titanite. There's got to be a way to get back around. Oh, right here. Yeah, this is how you get back around. You have to... Well, let's just get rid of this, shall we? There we go. We have to jump in there. Takes a little learning, but there's no risk associated with it, except spiders. Not many spiders. Who is this? Oh, bashful Ray. Not gonna be super useful right now. Spiders everywhere. This is the time to be bold. What are you? Lots of treasure in Tseldora, making it worth sticking around this hellhole for a little while. The Crescent Axe and the Soul Vortex, which is a spell, I want to say we actually already have a cast of that somewhere. Real quick, just because we might be out and about longer than anticipated, we'll use some repair powder. Really want to get my mitts on that repair spell. There was originally a red crystal lizard here, and it was still present. I saw it earlier. Oh no, Bowman Guthrie. So, an archer. Okay, that's fine. We can handle that. Probably. Hopefully. Hey, buddy. So yeah, not exactly the toughest around. Wearing the Royal Swordsman armor, I think. Oh, there goes one of those homing soul arrows. And another eyeless basilisk. Oh god, the spiders are coming out in force. Let's retreat and wait for them. I can use what dark orbs we have left to take out the mage after the fact. Yeah, come on, suckers. I see you. At least the spiders drop a pretty generous number of souls. Oh yeah, yeah. They totally didn't just hit the edge of their, like, aggro range. We frightened them into retreat. That's how we do it. Oh, hello. It'd be great if our spells could, like, cancel each other out mid-air. Got him. Oh, and he dropped something. Petrified dragon bone. Nice. Ah, that piece of wood is stopping me from, like, kind of cheesing my way onto the platform. Oh well. There are other, better ways. Doesn't open from this side. Ah, but the bonfire's in there. Come on. Pharros Lockstone. Butterfly. This is actually where the second boss soul merchant will set up shop later on. The one who works with more quote-unquote advanced souls. There's gotta be a way to get back up, right? Rouge water. We need to get in there, though. We can't walk up there. I might have to do, like, I guess just a second run from the last bonfire. Which is fine. We can manage that. But first, time to light up all these sconces down here, the ones that we found anyway. Nothing back here, right? Nothing I missed. Okay. MC says it's like nobody expected the basilisk. Well, not only that, but if you notice, that basilisk did not have its eyes, so I believe it just spit sand at you instead of attempting to petrify you. It literally can't curse anybody, or is all cursed out or something. Those sharp crystals will damage us very slightly if we walk through them. So we'll want to do that later, of course. Now first, time to, head down into the deepest part of the Writhing Ruin. Which means first, of course, time to fight a literal friggin' army of spiders. This is shield time. This is shield days. Oh my god. Oh, why are you all so horrible? Oh, jeez. They can either, like, further poison you or slow you down if they connect with their webs, I think. Another parrying dagger. Yeah, so... Oh, geez. We'll need a key to, unlock some doors in the Writhing Ruin. Poison arrows. Who can we summon here? Manhunter O'Hara. Don't need the help right now. Be wary of enemy. Yeah, that's right. I think, once we activate either of these levers and begin the slow, laborious process of opening these doors, more spiders are going to swarm us. No? Oh no, it's just a red phantom peasant laborer. You're interesting. Oh, and they know how to use that pick, too. Very interesting. You weren't in the original game. Fortunately, they're kind of low poised. That's good. That's very good. And it ended up being our saving grace. Interesting. Homeward Bones in there. And now this is the pathway actually deeper into the ruin. Guarded by, like, a spider host, of course. Real quick, I just see a sconce, so I gotta... Wait, we maybe don't need to use a flame butterfly just yet. Oh, hello. Gotta love ragdolls for that kind of thing. We'll be coming back to Tseldora a lot just for the boss soul merchant. Did that spawn anyone? Now there's probably some sconces higher up. Well, at least those that we've lit will remain lit. Yeah, so, first of all, what this next boss is should be no surprise whatsoever. And you can tell that we're getting very close to, again, oddly enough, the being that inherited Seath's soul. I mean, I guess in the lore, as we'll see, it kind of fits. Oh, we're being followed. Guarding a torch. In other words, setting a trap. Oh, another lockstone. Sweet, we can use that to improve the doors of Pharros' show floor just a little bit. Now if we drop down here, walk our way along. Anything over here? Like at all? No? Then down here. MC says World Wide Web. Clever and unfortunately kind of true here. Jeez. And it gets thicker and thicker as we go down. Looks like the Tseldorans are still holding it down, but they're attacking me and not the horrible spiders, which confirms that their minds are gone. Spiders are nowhere near as bad as the samurai, though, so I'll be thankful for small miracles. Get some titanite, a bandit axe from one of the, one of the peasants, no doubt. So we're probably not actually going to attempt the boss right now. We're just going to loot all we can and then go back to our last bonfire. So we can unlock the bonfire right next to their boss room. Ashen Knight Boyd. MC says, I too want samurai spiders. Oh dear. Well, play Neo then maybe? There's some stuff that gets kind of close-ish in Neo, I want to say. You are a samurai, and there are spiders. I do not know if there are samurai spiders. Right, so the boss is in there, and we are nowhere near in decent enough shape to face it right now, because that boss is tricky, but not ridiculously hard. It's really not. Especially like if you call in some friends like through multiplayer, man, game over. But first thing I want to do is unlock that other bonfire. The bonfire we're missing. We can get started by lighting that, I suppose. Alright. Good. Another scythe. I think we might want to... We want to drop down one of these ways instead of using the zip line. Or make that particular drop. Not sure which. Start by going here. Yeah. This is something, one way or the other. No, that's a sconce we already lit. Bad call. Homeward Bone again. We actually will get an item that replaces the Homeward Bone before too long. It's an indefinite use. Bonfire Restore. Sorry, having to write a message real quick. MC says the Homeward Miracle is pretty nice. It is. It is. The item, though, man. The item we get is, oh, top tier. Sorry, a friend of mine just got out of... Like, not super, like, it wasn't dangerous or anything, but just got out of a surgery and was letting me and some of the rest of our little, like, informal family here in town know that they're all right. So had to get right on that, you know? Let's try going down after the other guy this time. Well, there's a few things we can try, actually. And so he says, glad they're okay. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. It's one of those... I say this as somebody who is, like, terrible with surgery, but it's one of those things where it's like the stress of the situation and recovery and all that are really what's most frightening, you know? Oh, and you're totally right. You are totally right. Now let's see. This is where we made our mistake last time. We took a plunge we shouldn't have down here. Notice good old Pate is gone. After he tried to kill us again. I don't know if you run into him again or can. Yep, and you can actually drop down there if you're so inclined. I think that might be where we want to go. Oh yeah, so we drop down from there. Right. A lot of drops in Tseldora, a whole lot of drops. We'll do this one first. Titanite, okay. Hey, Estus Shard, great. MC says I have more roleplay stories I could share. Oh, sure, if you'd like to, go right ahead. Not a problem with that. I honestly really like Tseldora as an area. There's the explosive fake lizard. Oh god. See, the homing soul arrows will follow you for a very, very long time. I'm wanting to go, like, take him down just to see if we can't farm some more of his gear. Get rid of the fake lizard real quick. Oh, that'll do as well. Oh, wow, that's some impressive poise for a spellcaster. Now let's get me that bonfire. The reason you really want this one, like boss aside, is it's right next to the Bossol Merchant's little hut. It appears that, like, with a lot of weapons, and this is interesting, I think it's a nice touch, the amount of damage you deal actually matters on, or depends, in addition to things like, oh, if you get a riposte, or if it's a critical hit, or whatever, on what part of the weapon you actually strike the enemy's hitbox with. Like, it appears I deal less damage if I just barely catch the enemy with the tip of my blade, as opposed to with the full length of the blade, which is, again, really nice detail, I think. Now, this is where we want to drop down. Right there. Whew. Oh! The Mastodon Greatsword, wow. What are more of them doing in here? I think originally these guys were supposed to be replaced with just more spiders. Way more spiders. Luckily, our enhanced weapon can off them in a single blow. Lightning urns and the Hollow Mage robe. Woo! And as you can see here, we've We've got quite a bit of company in the bonfire hut. Oh, wrong hex, but whatever. Oh, we spawned the rest of them. Whoopsie. Yeah, so this is the only bonfire in the entire game that I'm aware of where you are not safe. The second you spawn in, you are surrounded by spiders. An army of spiders. Horrible spiders. None of them appear to be venomous, though, so there is that. Nice. Another scythe for the pile. Illusory wall, by the way, not here. Nice. I'll go ahead and give him a point for that one. That's pretty funny. So we'll go ahead and rest up. Cut our way through the spiders once again. And then we can take on the boss, which again is probably my favorite of the Lord Soulbearers to fight after the Lost Center. Mastodon Greatsword, Bandit Axe. Very nice. We can finally open this door now. There we go. Whoops. Though we do have to get through this little gauntlet now. Hold on. Now, I don't know if you can backstab these guys or not, as they're being well ridden by one of Tseldora's spiders. The story here is actually pretty simple. The Duke Tseldora loved spiders. He liked spiders a whole bunch. He started conducting horrific experiments involving spiders and breeding lots of spiders and just spiders, spiders, spiders. You don't really need an involved backstory when you've got visuals quite as horrific as the Writhing Ruin. Again, really well done area, I think. MC said, last session we met an ogre in a cave. We were sneaking around a whole civilization of them for a while, but that one had broken, rotting fingers and crushed feet. The poor guy was warming his hands by a fire. We found him because of the smoke. He was crying about the fact that he was not lying about seeing a fire weeks earlier. Weeks earlier we had to hide because an ogre came to our corner of the island. He was looking for a fire because he saw the smoke. We used hallucinogens and screams to scare him off at high speed, then found the survivor that lit the fire the ogre was looking for. So this is a pretty large, well-inhabited island you guys are on, it sounds like. Oh, jeez. I do appreciate that the spiders actually dissolve when they die, because otherwise there would be no way of telling, like, how many I'd actually killed. Which ones were dead and which were live and that kind of thing. Large island that has a lot of ogres and other dangers. Well, it's got entire civilizations. Yeah, sounds like it. See, I would try to ally myself with some of the island's sentient beings, if I could. Which it sounds like you guys have been doing periodically. Always a smart call. There we go. Now, fighting our way back down to the boss portal shouldn't be that hard. I mean, unpleasant because spiders, but not hard. Oh, it's the peasants. Hello, again. Jeez! Now, the peasants are not, I believe, like, worshipping what's down here, or anything similar. In fact, if I recall my lore, in life they kind of hated it. As would you, if something had done this to your hometown. Mastodon Greatsword again. I love also the fact that the boss room is like the one thing, or the fog wall is the one thing illuminating this entire cavern. Very eerie, very visually striking. Alright, we ready for this? Oh, MC says one of the PCs, Marcus, I remember poor Marcus, went inside the cave to talk to the creature. The ogre, named Timmy, revealed that he was raised in the ogre village but came from a tribe that had, like, died out. He was welcomed by a kind ogre shaman who protected him but passed away. The others despised Timmy because he was weak in mind despite his overwhelming strength, also because he wasn't from the clan. As soon as others saw him coming back from trying to find the fire, they exiled Timmy. Aw, poor guy. Also, very, very glad to see you guys aren't just running standard chaotic evil ogres. I always found them incredibly boring. This sounds more interesting. Right, we ready? The inheritor of Seath's soul. And one of Duke Tseldora's little hobbies run amok. Oh, God. Notice a giant deceased dragon being used as a nest by the spiders. And their matriarch, the Duke's dear Freya. She's actually a two-headed spider. She has another head instead of mandibles on the reverse side of her body. So first things first, you want to get rid of her health. She's a very powerful physical attacker, as you can see, but also can shoot out beams of concentrated dark energy, which you generally want to avoid. Or no, not dark, I'm sorry, magical energy. You can also only attack her faces, I believe. Or if you want to do, like, serious damage. Oh, damn! Wow, she moves fast. I'm going to have to relearn this fight, I apologize. Again? Jesus. And here it comes one more time. Luckily, the other head is largely vulnerable during that attack. Ooh! Oh, I'm doing real bad. Okay, so she's got webbing. Okay, good. So it's pretty easy to dodge that. You can actually sever her heads if you deal enough damage to them. Like that, apparently. Oh, jeez. Oh, she's mad. As you would be if one of your heads was severed. Got it! Nice, first try. Soul of the Duke's dear Freya, and we get like a nice little soccer ball for our troubles. Whee! GG, thank you very much, MC. And that, according to some fan theorists at least, is, that thing is what Seath was reborn as. And it just, yeah. We get the Great Soul That's why people believe that this dead dragon is what Seath was reborn as in this whole process, because we actually don't get the Great Soul from Freya herself, though we do get her soul. We get it at the bottom of this, like, I guess saliva / spider silk little thread running out of the dragon's mouth. It's clearly the dragon's soul, and not Freya's. That said, let's examine. Also notice that she doesn't have a special Lord Soul. There isn't a collectible item for Seath's soul in this game. Soul of the Duke's dear Freya, the Writhing Ruin's keeper. The Writhing Ruin is an ancient thing whose shadow remains cast over the land. It first took possession of a solitary insect, but grew its power, feasting on the wealth of twisted souls found in the land. So now, we've taken care of every threat here save Duke Tseldora himself. Remember, he was the one who kept Freya, he was the one who allowed his spiders to run rampant over the city that he was already slaving to death to excavate raw materials from. So he is actually our last proper opponent here. And he doesn't exactly measure up to his pet. We get the Brightstone Key, another fragrant branch, and a dark quartz ring. MC says the ogres are currently in the process of leaving the village. The island is doomed for all. Before going, a group of them went in the cave and attacked Timmy. They willingly made sure he couldn't move or grab anything. Jeez, like an execution by abandonment. Marcus dragged Rex inside. Rex was hiding at the entrance, feeling terrible having heard the story, not knowing the interaction Rex had with Timmy. Timmy just cried more after seeing Rex. We've got one more primal bonfire to light. Just one more. I'm trying to remember, is there like a special side chamber here? Maybe not. Anyway, we light our last bonfire and meet a very important character. This is, like, kind of difficult to make out, but it's an old man's head, effectively, and, like, upper body, basically a bust, made out of flaming plant matter. And he's friendly, believe it or not.
No one has come this far for a very long while. Young Harlow, do you wish to shake this curse? Then accept the fate of your ilk and face the trials that await you. Unless you have already joined the crestfallen. Young Harlow, there are but two paths. Inherit the order of this world, or destroy it.
Well, you know the choice I made at the end of the first game. We're probably gonna make the same choice here.
Such a choice. Very few indeed have come even this far, and yet your journey is far from over.
He's got a very wise and gentle voice for something so abominable.
You what it takes. Truly. Young Harlow, seek after Vendrick. He who almost became a true monk. The Vendrick is certain to guide your way. Fledgling Harlow, may we meet again?
Oh, we will. So that just happened. All of this, like this whole character and their questline, are original to Scholar of the First Sin. And they add a great deal of additional context to the game's story as we go on. So now that the Primal Bonfire was rekindled, we actually have all four of them. We're ready to proceed on to Drangleic Castle and find King Vendrick. Eventually. There's a lot to do. We've got a shard to pass off. We've got to explore the Writhing Ruin just a little bit more, and hopefully free our our other
Rest
boss soul
with a myriad of
merchant.
souls. Bearer of the curse, make your way to the castle.
Alright, keeping it short and sweet today. I appreciate that.
The sign you bear, and without souls, stay.
Okay, she's got nothing new to tell us. Okay. We will, level up, I guess. Got 8 levels. That's pretty damn good. Going to put quite a lot of it, actually, into, well, no. We'll put a little bit into health. A little bit into vitality, just to keep raising that equip load. And the remainder, maybe just straight into dex? Dex or intelligence? Two into dex, 1 into intelligence. We'll try that. And then we'll go visit Strayed briefly to, drop off what boss souls we can. Remember, he doesn't work with all of them, and some of these can only be refashioned by the other merchant. We should normally be able to find Kale the Cartographer here. But as you can see, with each of the primal bonfires we've lit, along with the first fire, or the far fire, we, have really affected that little map of Drangleic. Hold on, I'm curious about something. These sconces. Could we perhaps use, like, a pyromancy flame to light them? No? Odd. MC said Rec first apologized, explaining to Marcus the cause, and Timmy asked for us to mercy kill him. Jeez. Rex asked him to give them a chance to find a way to heal him. Timmy could not believe that and asked if they would help him leave the island. Rex merely stated that he wanted to see what he could do, and if he could not find a way, he would kill Timmy himself. So, sounds like odds are good you guys can pick up some pretty heavy additional muscle. Sounds like a chance to take, to me. Sounds well worth it. So Kale hasn't come back yet. Odd. Oh yeah, we need to remember to go talk to Benhart, sorry. And tell him that we freed Rosabeth from petrification. Then it's boss soul time.
Clearing the way was you doing, was it? Didn't think you had it in you, pal. No. That's not like it sounds, no. It was a pleasant surprise, that's all. Names. If we share the same path, I'm sure that we are going to meet again.
Of course.
I will pay my debt to you in battle. I swear it by my sword. The road ahead's going to be long, but I'm here to help.
Okay.
I swear it.
Oh, he taught us a gesture. Nice. MC said the ogre had no real way to refuse, of course, but Rex still asked for a chance out of respect. The ogre did tell him that Rex was only putting his honor on the line for that. Well, it sounds like if you could heal him successfully, then you've got a very, very powerful ally along for the road. So it'd be worth the expenditure in my mind. Speaking of expenditures, just because I can't help myself, before we go check out some boss soul weapons, we're going to see what all is available for the Rat King. Right, no, our ring. There we are. Wrong way. Anything? No. Oh, what a shame. How many lockstones do we have right now? Just 2. Yeah, I guess not a lot of folks voluntarily get caught up in Rat King shenanigans. I can't imagine why. Well, that is a true shame. I did want to show you guys some more content from the Rat King at some point. But alas, no luck. Time to hoof it on over to Strayed then. Been ages since we've been to the Bastille. Oh, jeez. Strayed, a little help. No? Alright. Anything we can buy from him? We haven't... Oh, the Forlorn Hood. Yeah, so as you defeat the Forlorn, I guess their gear becomes available here? Hood of the Forlorn, who wander the land of the undead. Born of Aldia's obsession with the first sin, the Forlorn lost both their corporeal form and a world to call their own. Now they drift into other worlds, ever in search of a home. But without self, one has neither beginning nor end, and so the Forlorn have only to wander. Right, they're like an outcast order of knights who served Vendrick's brother, Lord Aldia, who, The gist of it is both brothers sought very different ways to bring an end to or control the undead curse. And Lord Aldia, I will say, got a whole lot closer to solving the problem, as far as I'm aware. MC says a few hours later, Rex came back with a potion of full healing and gave it to Timmy with no hesitation. They don't have much in the way of healing, and that was a one-of-a-kind item. Oh, wow. Timmy, after being healed, grabbed Rex, not crushing but staring straight at him, forgave him for the trickery, and declared his life was Rex's. Rex merely asked to be released, screaming internally but unable to show any fear. And yeah, the ogre joined him. Perfect! That's definitely, as somebody who always plays any kind of RPG, tabletop or otherwise, as like a squishy mage type character, that is exactly the kind of, like, ally I want to have. As you could see, we have way, way more options now From Queen Mytha, we get a special dagger, the Bent Blade. Dagger forged from the soul of Mytha, the baneful queen, coated with a potent poison. Very potent, actually. Mytha was the fairest queen in the land until something unhinged her. Was it the poison found deep within the earth, or the passion that consumed her heart? With the Executioner's Chariot, we get a unique shield that has a crossbow built into it. Crossbow created from the soul of the Executioner's Chariot, the iron plate serves as a shield while firing. The merciless chariot inflicted agony upon others with utter impunity, and the crossbow created from its soul strives to protect it from possible retribution. We get the Smelter Sword from the Smelter Demon, an incredibly heavy, ultra-great sword forged from the soul of the Smelter Demon. Its blade bears the strength of terrible flames, a latent power unleashed by a strong attack. The earth sprouted fire, and a beast arose from the flames. The short-sighted king was incinerated by the creature in one swing, and his castle devoured in a sea of flames. So, it was the Smelter Demon that actually disposed of the king's corporeal form, and caused him to be reborn as the Icarus Earth, I believe. A Roaring Halberd we can get with the Skeleton Lord soul, which requires both intelligence and faith to wield. Halberd forged from the soul of a Skeleton Lord, imbued with the power of dark. The unsettling skull carved into this halberd recalls the final moments of the Skeleton Lord for whom it was created. With the Covetous Demon, that big kind of blobby worm-looking thing at the base of Earthen Peak, we get the Bone Scythe. The curved spine of the Covetous Demon is as hard as rock, and rather than slicing through flesh, this weapon seems to grind it apart. In other words, it's basically a scythe made of teeth. That thing that ended up as a monstrous fiend. What was it to begin with, and why did it never leave the Queen? Perhaps it was entranced by some perversion of love. We can get the Lance of the Executioner from the Chariot Soul. Its cross-shaped blade causes bleeding. Oh, damn, that it does. Look at that, 67 bleed. That's not bad at all. The perverse design of this spear mirrors the chariot from which it came, a merciless creation that endlessly tortured the undead. MC says Rex is more of a ranger that would sneak around and avoid talking to people because of being hurt by them in the past, and he pretty much recruited everyone that joined the survivor group. I love the character not really desiring anything, just doing what he feels is right in the moment. Like, kind of impulsive, I guess. Yeah, I can see the appeal there. So, hold on, what else can we get? We can get some spells as well. From the Royal Rat Authority Soul, an acid spraying pyromancy. Sprays an equipment eroding acid, great for PvP. Does not directly damage foes, but eats away at their equipment instead. Yet another pyromancy inspired by perniciousness. From the Ruin Sentinel, yeah, we've got Heavy Homing Soul Arrow, and then the Soul Shower from Scorpioness Najka. Hurls a large soul mass which splits into smaller souls that rain from above. Requires real talent and is difficult to handle. Only works in certain places and against certain foes. Well, we'll take Acid Surge, obviously. Notice we don't get as many choices here. We've got a choice for the Executioner's Chariot, and I'll go with the Lance. But otherwise, you've got, I think, one weapon per boss here. Still want to hold on to these other two just for the time being. And he's got nothing new to tell us. Alright. I'll show these off a bit later. But first things first. Well, hold on, I'm trying to think. Is there anything we're missing or anything else? Yeah, Writhing Ruin, right. Well, no, sorry. Shaded Woods, actually. Oh man, according to CNN, Malik B from The Roots, I guess their lead singer passed away. Oh, that's a real shame. Only 47 years old. Damn. And The Roots, man, they make some incredible music, let me tell you. MC says not necessarily impulsive because he thinks deeply about his actions, but he chose what feels better. I gotcha. Now, I think to free the boss soul merchant, we actually need to use some of those fragrant branches to, well, free the lion tribesmen. One of whom, it might be that guy, will drop a key to the merchant's cell. Oh, wasn't intending to land in here, in the Basilisk's den, but why not? I'll take him. And yeah, we don't have the key. Good. Raw stone. Raw stone. That's where we first saw Dark Diver Grandal. He's since moved on. Alright, let's set you free so we can cut you down. Yep, there it is, the Fang Key. Perfect. First try. Fang Key, description... Hold on. First, the Brightstone Key. We didn't take a look at this when we first got it. The eccentric Lord Tseldora, known for his fascination with spiders, built a town and a personal fortune by mining Brightstone. But one day, the town was overrun by spiders. Lord Tseldora only stood by and watched, eerily contented. And the Fang Key, a strange key shaped like a wild beast's fang. What manner of dilettante would create such a key, and what might it unlock? Well, we are about to find out. And I really dig this merchant we're about to unlock. I think they're a great character. I love them. I love them. I think... Great way that devs played with some of the expectations you may have coming from the first game. MC says, Rex agreed to let the druid spend all his healing supplies on a bear they tried to save. All that to carry the will of the team and not break morale. Speaking of, did you know that a bear, like a pet bear, actually served in the Polish army during World War II? He was, I think, a Syrian brown bear who was either bought or rescued, like, from some combat theater. And since, according to army regulations, only enlisted personnel could go along or accompany any, like, military unit, he was formally enlisted, given, like, a book of wages and formally established rations and things like that. Ended up, like, just by being a bear, catching several, or at least one spy or saboteur or something, and by, like, imitating his friends, his, I guess, colleagues, his comrades in the unit, during a siege battle or something like that, he would actually, like, carry around crates of artillery ammunition on his hind legs. Like, he would walk upright and, like, lug these boxes of ammo around. All that to say, yes, bears are great for morale. And look, it's one of the crow demons from the Painted World, and she is our boss soul merchant here.
Thank you for helping me.
She's a blacksmith, technically.
I owe you some form of thanks, but have nothing for you at the moment. If it would not trouble you...
MC says that's a great story. Oh, hell yeah, it is. Apparently he was moved to, I think, the Edinburgh Zoo after the war, and from then on until his death, like, former comrades of his would stop by to, like, feed him alcohol or cigarettes. He loved eating cigarettes, apparently.
Thank you, kind
making him the most 40s bear in history.
But I can be of assistance if you would visit me at my home. Thank you.
Right, so she lives in Tseldora, in that kind of eerie-looking room with all the dolls. And we'll need to pay her a visit before too long to get the rest of our boss soul weapons. Some of which are very, very cool. Well, I take that back, all of which are very, very cool. I love at the very least the design of all the boss soul weapons, even if not all of them... Well, I don't want to say any of them are impractical. Some of them just have extremely specific uses. Like, there is all of one very specific build that will benefit from this weapon type of uses. Nope, 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 nope. Not cursing me. Whew. That was close. Now that we've got more branches, we can open up a couple side paths. The Lion Tribe are wearing armor that doesn't look totally dissimilar to the Gurm stuff, which is curious. Oh, it's Vengarl's body. Remember good old Vengarl of Pharros, the disembodied head merchant back in the forest? Well, he said he saw his body, visions of his body raging on without him, and indeed it did. Originally, he was, or his body, I should say, was not all that far from the Tseldora primal bonfire, I think. So we get his armor, which is actually pretty good armor, if not the best looking. And no real reason to depetrify this guy. I don't think. There's Vengarl himself, and hold on, I'm curious. I'm going to do something stupid. Can we drop down there? Like if I equip the Silver Cat ring, because we do want to talk to him. And yes, we can! Nice. Never noticed that before.
Again. Ah, it was you who vanquished my body. It is my body, you see, and I can sense what happens to it. I do not mourn for it. Good riddance. If you wish for help, summon.
Yeah, so we can now summon Vengarl. Now that we've killed his body, I guess, he has been made whole in spirit, and we can summon him for a couple boss battles. Anything else that we haven't already heard? No? Oh wait, no, he should offer his special weapons now. Yeah. I guess to thank us for killing him, he offers now the Red Rust set, which, despite not looking the coolest in the world, are insanely solid pieces of gear. MC says, when I wrote Alexander, I specified that the villagers nicknamed him Rex, both because his adopted brother is a wolfman. Oh, cool. But also to spite him, i.e. treat him like a dog. Knowing a bit of Latin, you should understand the character goal here. Yep, Rex is Latin for king, so character arc in mind, I suppose. Now that we're here, of course, we want to head back to our last bonfire, so we can pop over to Tseldora, get boss weapons from Ornifex, and clear out the Writhing Ruin. With the Tseldora key, we should access one or two doors not too far from Freya's boss room. At the very least, the locked door in the Writhing Ruin proper. Oh, notice somebody had Havel's armor. Havel's armor in this game is actually behind one of those stone doors in the gutter, I think. Or at least it was in the vanilla. Most nerve-wracking bonfire in the entire series. Jesus. Whoa. Got caught on a bench there? Am I going to die? No. Well, that's what happens when you get caught on the friggin' furniture. MC says, I found out that having a bit of a character arc planned can do a lot. That it definitely can, having some idea where you'd like the character to go anyway. We did so well in Tseldora, I'm not all that angry about that death. Been playing much better today on the whole. Just, God, with all the mages about, that area can be very busy. As he says, geometry death is the worst. It really is. But it's okay, we haven't seen much of that in Dark Souls, really. let's get rid of at least one, if not both of them. There we go. That lizard will explode if you get close to it, hence the red coloration. It's the only, like, faux lizard like that in the entire series, I want to say. Alright, let's see what our new friend has to offer us. Now, since we saved her, she will give us our first weapon totally free of charge, any of them.
We meet again, kind traveler. This is my workshop. In your tongue, I believe I would be called a blacksmith. I create all manner of equipment, using an ancient technique unique to my people. Normally, I only cater to a very select few. But I have a debt to you. I will craft.
MC says, not creepy at all, workshop. I know, right? All of these hollow statues that have been slashed, like about the abdomen, it's very strange. But she's perfectly pleasant, which also suggests that the crow demons in the first game, like in Ariamis, were originally, like, fairly, like, pleasant as well, possibly. And that, like so many other things in Lord Gwyn's Lordran, just sort of demented over time and lost their minds. Now, she does sell some pretty interesting weapons. A lot of them, like, kind of bigger or heavier weapons, including a two-handed, greatsword, the Murakumo. Flame butterflies, flame arrows and bolts, and some pretty basic sorceries. Fall control is kind of nice, but we don't need it. She does perform basic blacksmithing duties, making her the third, I think we found, who offers that service. She doesn't have a whole lot to say, but can give us some great stuff. Let's take a look-see. MC says, or the creature in the painted world are a representation of the real creature. Well, it was... Gwyn saw them as monsters, but that's an interesting theory. I know that the painting itself served as, like, a giant celestial trash can for people like Priscilla, like those that Anne Orlando wanted to throw away. So it's possible that they were, like, exiled there, or trapped there somehow, just like she was. Let's see. Using the soul of the Lost Sinner, we can get her sword. An ultra-great sword forged from the soul of the Lost Sinner. Its blade saps the life of its wielder. The true nature of the sword is unknown, even to the Lost Sinner herself. Those who choose this sword will share the burden of the sinner's misdeeds. Right. So, in keeping with her theme of penance, and like how much of her gear makes the game a little more difficult for you, this is a very powerful sword that damages you as well, of course. With the soul of the Duke's dear Freya, we can get the Spider Fang curved sword. Its blade is coated with a sticky silk that is cast with each strong attack, slowing enemy movement. Very good. Supposedly, the Duke himself, an eccentric soul fascinated with spiders, went on to take a form that was far from human. Not true, as we ran into the Duke and chopped him down in short order, but interesting. Spider Silk is great. It's a dex weapon with S-rank scaling, and can pierce shields with its strong attack. Its needle-like blade can easily pierce the seams of the toughest armor. The Rotten sword can be used to create the Butcher Knife from the first game, an oddly large butcher's knife, not your standard weapon, but certainly deadly enough to be utilized as one, absorbs the HP of foes. Who in their right mind would create such a thing? Perhaps it's best not to dwell on how it was likely used in the past. That HP absorb is really handy, especially if you're like a big tanky strength build. The old Iron King soul could be used to create one of the heaviest weapons in the series, the Iron King's Hammer. Great hammer forged from the soul of the old Iron King, the tip is formed from molten rock. The corpse of the old Iron King became the vessel that bred Icarus Earth, which again is what we fought. The heavy rock tip is formed of cooled magma with a still smoldering core. Strong attacks release its inner power. And we can use Ornstein's soul to create his spear, a ranseur formed from the soul of the old Dragon Slayer. The spear of the knight known as the Dragon Slayer was imbued with the power of lightning and shattered the stone scales of dragons. Strong attacks unleash its latent power. So we're going for all these. The only one we have a choice for is the Duke's Dear Freya, and even though Spider Fang looks so cool, Spider Silk's a little bit better for us. Oh, we found plenty of wondrous souls. Take them all. Her weapons, thankfully, aren't any more expensive. Though the ones from the Lord Souls actually are. Like, everything else will come to her for. Are not. Just to show it off real quick, Spider Silk, even for this kind of build, can actually be really, really good due to that S scaling. And just check out its design. That is gorgeous. And again, its strong attack will pierce shields. Easily. Shields, armor, whatever you like. Oh, we missed a sconce. That must be why the Forlorn hasn't shown up yet. I assume it's gonna be a Forlorn anyway. Got him. Take a light from here to the storage room. Light it up. Set damn chair. Light it up. Do we have Forlorn yet? Might be nearer the Writhing Ruin. And remember, like the first, or the one in Things Betwixt, actually didn't announce itself with a standard like, you've been invaded by a dark spirit notification. So maybe this one won't either, whenever we do trigger it. Oh no, it can still petrify us, my bad. I thought it couldn't without the Eyes of Death. Oh no, oh no. It's got back up. Going to have to get rid of this Basilisk first things first. I don't think spiders are frightened of the fire, but they might be. And even though we'll take little bits of damage, we're going to want to go down into the crystals to pick up what few items are down there. I did replace... Oh, Silver Cat Ring, right, we want... Gold Serpent Ring +1. I've got to remember to keep that thing equipped. Alright, we've got a sconce in case we find something else that needs to be lit. Oh, the lion's share of these suckers are toxic. Thankfully, they tend to get kind of lost pretty easily. Or disoriented or something. Or again, it could be the fire affecting them. Bandit Axe, Parrying Dagger, all good. Now using the Brightstone Key, we unlock what is definitely going to be a friggin' spider gauntlet. Oh, come on. Oh, gonna have to wait until... Yeah, I see you, sucker. I see you. Yeah, so it's just as soon as we open the door, they're gonna come pouring down. Ugh. We got this, though. It's all worth it for the treasure. Not a ton of them so far. Bandit axe. And a single iron chest. What could possibly be in here? Black Knight Ultra Greatsword, the Great Fireball Pyromancy, and another Fire Seed to further strengthen our Pyromancy Flame. That, honestly, that is not a bad haul at all. Now let's go treasure hunting through the painful, painful crystals. It will also probably be damaging our armor. In fact, I'm fairly certain their principal purpose here... Oh, tons of Titanite. And a torch. Anything over here? There's nothing around the Brightstone itself? That's a shame. Well, that may be all. Let's get some souls real quick. Never gonna say no to souls. Because otherwise, what would you be left with? What would this game be? It would just be dark. And does that have half the marketing power? Half the badass imagery of Dark Souls? I don't think so. And I've completely run out of things to say, if you couldn't tell. We're just cleaning some stuff up at this point. Not the most exciting in the world, I know, but important, I would say. MC says, good one. Oh, I know that's the best I can manage right now. I think maybe in the original there was some kind of item over here. Oof. Is there a sconce in the room that was flooded with sand? No. Doesn't appear to be. Oh, there he goes again. That one little limb just will not stay still. Where on earth could they be? Oh, over there, maybe? Or up there, I should say? Oh well, we've got what we need, and... Well, yeah, we do. I guess it's time, really quickly, to carry on to the, well, the next stage of the game. Head back to the Shaded Woods, from which we can access, finally, Drangleic Castle, and begin what, at least in the base game, would constitute the end game. Now, unlike in Dark Souls 1, where the end game was literally a, like, little 5-minute mini-dungeon and then a duel with Lord Gwyn, in Dark Souls 2, the end game constitutes, I want to say nigh on, like, half a dozen special areas or more, with still a score of bosses, like maybe 8 or more bosses left to remain to be fought, probably more than that, and just a ton of content. So we are not done. We are nowhere near done. I think, is this the Shrek area? Yeah, that's the way to a door we need Vendrick's assistance getting past. So first things first, we want to head over here, right to the Shrine of Winter, past the Falconers. deal crazy damage but don't have much health. I do like that. Again, we've talked about this before. There are far fewer, like, damage sponges in this game compared to Dark Souls 1, and I really like that. I've never been a fan of ridiculously durable, regular enemies. Like, yeah, let them be fast, let them deal lots of damage, let them have lots of tricky moves that I have to cope with. Just don't make me wail on them for, like, a minute straight. Falconer Boots, which we already have. If I'd have remembered these guys have shown up, I might... Well, no, honestly, it's probably worth buying the Falconer set early on because it's such robust early game armor, without being too heavy. Again, this is where we would normally see the Flexile Sentry again. Oh, it's one of those. And a Goblin. The Goblin ain't a problem, the Phantom is. Broadsword, okay. I'll take it. Broadsword is probably the best early game, or like starting weapon in the series, in my humble opinion. It's got a really good moveset. And now with all 4 of the Lord Souls, we can access the Shrine of Winter, which happens to contain our final DLC portal. Forbidden is the path to the Ancient King's domain. All of this is the same. Save the last prompt. Alium Lois, land of the Ivory King, lies cold as death, nary a hint of warmth remaining. So yes, this is the portal that will take us to our final stop on our grand tour of Dark Souls 2, the Crown of the Ivory King DLC, which is really, really something to look at. It's home to some of the most beautiful environments in the entire series. Can't wait to show you guys that particular DLC. Soul of a Hero, so just a ton of money. And a short pathway to Drangleic Castle. Guarded by more phantoms? Jesus Christ, they wanted to get these guys their money's worth, or get their money's worth from them. I do think they're a bit overused for what they are. Like, there are other great enemies you could have used. Lion Tribe soldiers or chieftains, basilisks. The whole point to these guys was that they appear in an area where visibility is really, really poor and kind of blend in addition to looking almost identical to the phantoms of other players you find all about. They're ambushers, and just seeing them everywhere, I don't know, I don't think that's a great choice. Having a few of them scattered around would be fine, no doubt, but yeah, just I don't know, I'm not sold there. What's up here? Human effigy and a little bit of cash. And well, that's it. It's showtime. Drangleic Castle looks, shall we say, sufficiently more developed and more normal than Anor Londo. It looks like still fantastical, yes, but something that a human monarch might construct. MC says not sold, would you say? Clever. And yeah, no, appropriate as well. So it's time to meet the Royal Swordsman once again. We saw them at the Bastille, and then one other place they cropped up. I forget where exactly, and it was just one of them that did. One that was petrified, I think. We finally get the Royal Swordsman armor, which again is really good for early game. Less so here. And are you ready for an incredible sight? Jeez, check that view out. Just, my god, man. Of course, Anor Londo is breathtaking. It's supposed to be. It's really well realized. But Drangleic Castle is so gorgeous. And, like, kind of imposing in a way that Anor Londo isn't. Well, Anor Londo isn't intended to be. It's like a gigantic, massive citadel that looks like it was carved from obsidian. MC says, nice, I want one. Oh, me too, man, me too. Look at that thing, sheesh.
But nonetheless, you must forge on.
Like, this just telegraphs to the player, this is not going to be pleasant for any of us. The Emerald Herald is here to offer a little bit of advice, but onward we go. Many of Drangleic Castle's defenders, like these perfectly immaculate Mastodon Knights, are disguised as statues. They have not been petrified. They're under some kind of, like, magic geese. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. A glamour, basically. And yeah, Mastodon Knights hurt. Gotta try not to hit the Emerald Herald if we can help it. Oh. These guys, I don't know if they were here in the vanilla release, on the bridge. I honestly do not know. We're not far from a bonfire, but first we've got to get into the castle. Mastodon gauntlets, very nice. I love the look of their armor on like a normal-sized PC. Up we get. We'll actually be, I think, ascending that tower at some point. We don't get an exterior view, but... So notice the two giant statues next to these unlit braziers on either side of the door. What we want to do is kill enemies near them, and the statues will literally steal our... Jesus Christ, they're fast. Steal our souls from defeated enemies and use them to power the golems. When both of them have, like, activated, or been activated, the door to Drangleic Castle should swing open, and enemies indefinitely spawn here until you get it, so no worries. Oh, they're firing, like, lightning-laced bolts at us. There we go. That should do it, right? Was that enough? Yep. Welcome to Drangleic Castle, home to some of the coolest humanoid enemies in the entire game and some awesome armor sets to go alongside. Notice the, like, open-air atrium. We'll head in there in just a moment. Notice the statues of, and some very real Cyan Knights. This is where we start seeing them regularly, and they're still not really a threat, don't worry. Have awesome-looking arms and armor, though. Like, seriously, I want a suit of that. I want a full suit of that. Look carefully, it says nothing over there. We're also very close to a bonfire. The Great Combustion Pyromancy and another free fire seed. Right on. Fire seeds are expensive from merchants, so it's great that we've been finding so many, in case we want to play around with pyromancy later on. One with a great sword now? Or, well, I guess it'd be a great sword to us, anyway. Certainly isn't to that guy. +1,000 souls with all of our buffs. That's a really healthy profit. Oof. Oof. But notice even being, like, just clocked by these guys doesn't do much damage. Get that shield out of here. Sir? Nothing over here, huh? Oh no. Oh, there's nothing there either. Okay. Well, let's go inside and see what's going on. Remember, we've been sent to find King Vendrick, but apparently he's been missing for a very, very long time. And this ghost is the only person home down here.
Who are you? And by whose permission do you stand before me? This castle is the domain of King Vendrick. Was your trespass intentional? His Highness. Where has he gone?
He's obviously not all there.
You are a guest of our castle. I am the Chancellor, Belaga. Do you seek an audience with my lord, King Vendrick? Unfortunately, His Highness is absent. My lord, the King, has... The Queen has taken him. My lord made magnificent findings on souls. An accomplishment...
We understand in this. Vendrick also came pretty close to figuring out the undead curse, at least partially.
Our king has watched over this,
but apparently he wasn't...
ages long.
He didn't vanish. The Queen took him somewhere.
We must fight back, or the giants will take Drangleic.
Of course, he also doesn't know what time it is.
Queen, a woman of unparalleled beauty. Long ago, the Queen came to us, alone, from a faraway land. She warned our lord of the looming threat across the seas, of the giants. The king crossed the ocean and defeated the giants with the queen at his side.
And the Queen also then instigated the war with the giants. The giants didn't invade Drangleic out of nowhere. Vendrick went and attacked their home first.
Commandeered their power and created the golems. With the golems, the king created this castle. To celebrate victory and to show his love and his gratitude to his queen. The queen brought peace to this land and to her king. A peace so deep, it was like the dark. Is this... Where am I? Who are you?
Yeah, and he's totally gone.
Our guests are treated with honor.
But he will act as a merchant now.
Tell me if you should require anything.
MC says, sounds like a king gone crazy because of a woman. Actually, no. No. What's going on here is way more complex. Again, I need to stress the leadership of Drangleic as a whole, like all of them. There's 3 really important leadership figures that we have extensive dealings with in lore and in the world around us. All of them, I would argue, are much better people than Lord Gwyn. Like, much better. Maybe, like, one of them is on the same level of moral complexity as somebody like Gwendolyn, who's fighting for a bad thing, but for a fairly, like, benevolent or at least sympathetic reason. And the other 2 genuinely want or had people's best interests at heart. Chancellor Veliger MC says, one of the things I wanted to do with Rex was make a truly kind, altruistic soul that speaks with a completely bland expression, completely neutral tone. And he did casually say he would toss one of his group to the sea if they ever put them in danger once again. Reminds me of a character from an LP of, a character from a game I read a screenshot of a LP of recently. It was Ash of God's Retribution. It's a really bad game, like, apparently. Like a third-stringer knockoff of Banner Saga, which is a great game. But one of the protagonists, the best protagonist, the only one with really, like, pretty competently done writing, according to the screenshot LP's author, and based off of what I've seen, is a guy named Lo Feng, who, based on player characterization, but overall seems to be kind of what you're describing. And yeah, it's a really compelling character archetype, I think. We've got the Bracing Knuckle Ring, which will slow our equipment degradation. He sells some special projectiles, like most merchants do at this point. A magic barrier miracle, and right now he'll only sell us the flamberge used by the royal swordsman and a lucerne. Neither of which are really good for us. And he'll just repeat himself. Alright, thanks a lot, Welly. I think we might have just enough time. MC says, I've heard of that game. Yeah, it's not good by all accounts, not good at all. We can access the throne room for what good it'll do us. I love the doors to the throne room. Like, check out the little engravings around the base. And here we have the thrones of, I believe, the king and the queen. Or vice versa. I don't think there's anything in here by default. It's just a very cool, kind of ominous-looking area. I think we have just enough time to carry on to the first boss of Drangleic Castle, because, as you've noticed, one thing I really like about this game is once we get past that Forest of the Giants, the game is just throwing new enemies and encounters and bosses at you non-stop. There's always something new to see or to do. And our next boss, again, is not far. Cyan Knight guarding like a little corridor. That means it's a corridor we want to access. Oh, we got their helm. Very good. Oh no, we're at risk. Damn it. Hopefully this is the one I wanted then. Well, no, but I'll take it. Sublime Bone Dust. Perfect. That'll upgrade our Estus Flask even further. Well, since I only need to get past 1 or 2 more enemies, and I don't want to break my sword, why don't we try out the Spider Silk? Which I have actually used extensively in an earlier playthrough, believe it or not. It just doesn't deal much damage compared to what we were using on its own, unupgraded. But maybe we should upgrade it. It uses Twinkling Titanite, I think. Maybe go out the same way we came in, poking. I do have my Gold Serpent Ring equipped, don't I? Yeah, I was just curious because we don't seem to be getting a ton of drops from these guys. Got their armor, very good. Now we're talking. Oh, no, you don't. I mean, by default, the Spider Silk is not dealing terrible damage, not at all. And it's so much faster than the Katana. Bonfire ahead, yes, thank you. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Now let's head back to Majula real quick to, A, burn that bone dust, and B, see if we can't upgrade the Spider Silk. I'm seriously considering using this thing, instead of our Katana, if only because, now, Val was right the other day, the Katana's moveset is incredibly cumbersome and kind of awkward. Whereas, like, a rapier definitely isn't. Now, this will use our special Twinkling Titanite. Or no, it uses Petrified Dragon Bone, my bad. Well, I don't think any of these other boss soul weapons are going to be as useful. We'll need more dragon bone for it, but it's pretty great as it is. 148 plus 110, so around 258. But the katana has, oh god, close to 300 and change. Let's try it, upgrade it, and just see how it is. Now it's time to head back to the King's Gate, which is, in fact, the closest bonfire to the, well, kind of the first flame analog. The fire that you have to link or abandon, ultimately. It's right down there, past another one of King Vendrick's little gates. But oh yeah, this thing deals way more damage now. And it's so fast. It's so fast. What do we think? Better than Katana? It seems like it's so fast it offsets the damage really well. Now here, we've got a bunch of stone soldiers, some of which are actual stone soldiers, and a bunch of doors that we need to fuel with their souls. These are called Llewellyn Knights, I think? After, oddly enough, some of, like, the great monarchs of Wales. Now, we always want to be careful, because it's not always good things that are going to be behind these doors. Sometimes very good things, sometimes horrible things. That one is like a secret little pathway, so a good thing in my mind. Yeah, check it out. I just used spider silk to impale stone. No, 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 no. Oh, I'm stuck. Or I thought I was stuck. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Don't worry, once we open the doors, they remain opened. Even if we, like, go rest at bonfires and the like. So this is the only time we ever have to do this. Come on, you. There we go. Now, they do drop their stuff. I don't know if they have an armor set that you can get, but we can get their spears and shields. Good God, they're aggressive. The dark buff will probably really help wear them down. Oh yeah, that did the trick. Back near the door. Come on. Some of these will even allow us to get reacquainted with an old friend. Ta-da! It's the Ruin Sentinels. They're back as respawning enemies now. Only in this little room, though. Or this hallway. There's a few of them behind the doors. And they will drop their weapons and armor. Or they can, I should say. It's random chance. As ever. Got the Ruin Gauntlets. Their armor is really good, for the record. And behind this door, another sentinel. Oof. Given how heavily they're armored, the spider silk, I'd normally say it's a great, like, match for them, but turns out, alas, spider silk is a very fragile weapon. We've already almost completely worn it down, which is not good. How do you feel about the darkness? Not super great? Awesome. Got it. Oh no, the Willen Knight. They can't follow to the bonfire. Oh, so it looks like we are stuck with the katana. My bad, sorry about that. Oh, here is a dueling sign we can use to call in, well, players for totally benevolent, like, fun duels as part of a special covenant we can find much later. We can kill these Llewellyn Knights to activate some light, get a little light in here. Bashful Ray, if we wanted to help. We're good, though. Thanks, Ray. I would like to remind you that King Vendrick killed a ton of giants and, like, took some of their very special relics from them just to make those. Worth it, I guess? Llewellyn shield, yeah, and as a pure stone shield, it is pretty good. Ruin Sentinel number 3. Oh wow, and our katana just brutalizes them. Fortunately, we can chop them down before they... Oh, Titanite slab, awesome. Getting more slabs than I would have expected. Ruin Sentinel number 4 here. As we've seen, some of them are guarding treasure, so we do want to clear all these guys out, despite how badly they're wearing down my sword. Got him. Ruin armor, nice, nice. Oh, and that Ruin Sentinel soul opened up this one. Hello, Ruin Sentinel number 5 already? No. Ruin Sentinel number 4 properly, because one of them did not have a Ruin Sentinel. No, this is number 5, because we've opened up all the doors. That's right. We opened up the one closest to the bonfire first. Yeah, see? Well, let's take stock of all our goodies really quickly. Pharros Lockstone. I think the floor in one of these could give out and take you to a special area, but I don't know about that for sure. We are already not far from the boss. This cool little area's Mastodon Greatsword. Oh, gee. Thank you. I was really wanting one of those. Guess the spiders have already been in here. What's in here? Something a bit more unique, I hope. Royal Soldier's Ring +1. Not familiar with that one. I don't think... Oh, increases equip load. A ring bearing a soldier's seal increases the load that can be carried. These rings were granted to warriors who distinguished themselves in the service of King Vendrick. The king favored simple warriors who staked their every battle on strength alone. Nice. So, let's see what it does to our equip load, shall we? Oh, it reduces it pretty significantly. Might want to keep that in mind. Now let's see if we can't find the false floor. There it is. Oh, look who it is! It's been a while, man. Haven't seen you since the wharf. Life gem and the Faram armor. This was the armor that was actually used for all the official, like, promotional art for Dark Souls 2. And it's Dark Diver Grandal again. We only need to find him one more time to gain access to his covenant. A really cool and really special covenant. I think he wields the best chime in the entire game.
If you truly seek the will surely meet again. May we meet again, somewhere, sometime.
Oh, we shall. We'll see him very soon. I'll probably track him down at the start of our next stream, because I know exactly where he is. And hey, secret bonfire. A secret bonfire we technically need, I think, because there's no other way to get back up. Under Castle Drangleic, yeah. So back to King's Gate, and now we can run on straight to the armory, hopefully without attracting the ire of all of the ruined sentinels. We will have to fight our way through a few Llewellyn Knights again, though. Oh, whoop. Oh, why are you following me? Fine, fine. You want to do this? We'll do this. Oh, the Llewellyn Knight again coming through with the assist. Titanite slab? Yeah, it's totally worth fighting them for those, then. Oh, no, you don't. That's the one we aggroed, right? I would like to get one of their spears at some point. Alright, so welcome to, I think this is the Drangleic Library, listen to me, Drangleic Armory. There's no library here. Remember, Vendrick liked simple warriors. Reading was strictly prohibited. Dark arrows. Nice. The Frozen Flower, which should allow us to access Ilium Lois and the third and final DLC. Let me check on that real quick. Yeah. A stone ornament shaped like a flower, cold enough to dampen the greatest heat, opens the door to a new path from the Shrine of Winter, found on the road to the Great Castle. Oh, we're gonna have some fun with that later on. And this is, who on earth is this? It looks like a statue. The weapon reminds me of Ornstein, but the model certainly doesn't. It looks a bit like a boss from Demon Souls, a great knight called the Penetrator. More money. Okay. Which one of you is real? Gotta be one of them, right? Try attacking, it says? Oh, of course, there's nothing to any of this. Fa. Oh, an ironclad knight. All just thrown around here, so maybe a ton of these things are golems. That is a pool of acid. There's a way to get the items from it pretty easily, but we won't be doing that quite yet. Time for a good old-fashioned brawl. I don't know how many of these guys are real. Oh, none of the rest of them. These things, I think, might breathe fire. So, right. If and you want to get the items that are in the acid, well, first things first, eliminate all distractions. Like so. Then, since that acid will erode all of your equipment, just to unequip everything. Now you can collect all that stuff totally safely. Oh yeah, and the dragons spew acid as well, I guess. Elizabeth's mushroom. No mimic, right? Okay. Oh dear. Corrosive urns. So acid flasks, basically. And oh crap. Now they've come to life. Good. Katana, katana, katana. Let's live dangerously, I guess. Nice little trap there, having them only come to life once you're down in the drink. With either destroyed equipment or unequipped equipment. Oh, let's never do that again, okay? Jester's set, there we go. Jester's tights, and Jester's mask. Shield and staff, do we? I guess we'll just keep rocking the bone staff because it's the best thing we've got for hexes. So there's another bonfire somewhere around here that's semi-hidden in... Oh, jeez. Oh, ain't this a cheery-looking place? I'm sure as soon as we open that, they're all going to start spitting something at us. Yep. Arrow traps, nice. So we've got Cyan Knights and a giant portrait of Queen Nishandra. Which I'm fairly certain we've seen that name in item descriptions by now, but maybe not. Beautiful looking artwork, really. I'm not sure this third one may come to life as well, yeah? No? Yeah, there we go. It's live. Now here's where Dark Souls 2 loses any and all chance of subtlety in storytelling it ever had, right? So that is Queen Nishandra. That is a gigantic portrait of her, right? Well, nothing really wrong with it, yeah? Just get a little bit closer, and you start getting cursed very, very quickly. The image of the Queen has perhaps the greatest curse buildup of anything we've seen so far, just being near her. Great arrows, torches, so yeah, you don't exactly need to be a Mensa member to figure out what's going on here. Oh, petrified dragon bone. All is not well in Drangleic. We've been invaded by the nameless usurper, who may appear kind of familiar, right? They should. Because if this is the same NPC I'm thinking of, this is actually Lycia. You know, the, con artist, who's selling a bunch of basically stolen miracles back in Majula? I think this is her. I could be wrong, and she invades you at a different time, but she does invade you. Hold on. Human effigy. Yeah, that's her. So we've been invaded by an ostensibly friendly merchant, again. And oddly enough, I don't think she tried to use any miracle power on us. Just fairly standard physical attacks. Ooh, ow. Oh, now the Cyan Knights are in. They do have really good range. That's one thing I'll say about them and their moveset. We are going to need us a bonfire just to recharge this weapon's durability. Luckily, there's one right around the corner, I think. If you look around here, there should be a ladder somewhere. Here we go. Yep, here they come. Or here one of them comes, anyway. Bring it on. Just punch him to death. Helm, okay. So down here, perhaps. Royal Swordsman gloves. Oh, the Hunter's Black Bow, so Pharros' bow from the first game, and a parcel of arrows. Lots of treasures around here, man, and a lot of them are really good for different types of builds. Nothing super fantastic for us quite yet, but good stuff nonetheless. Where's that bonfire? Here it is. Hidden, much like the one in Earthen Peak. But we are almost to the boss now. There is one more, just one more little NPC encounter we have to get through, and then it'll be boss time. And due to our positioning, that means we get to start, like our next Dark Souls 2 stream, almost immediately at another really great boss. So up here we can find statues of the old knights, oddly enough, and an audience hall. And over there is Queen Nashandra, who is the only real authority figure left in Drangleic Castle right now, it would seem.
You have fought admirably on your journey, cursed undead. I am Nashandra, Queen of Drangleic. A true monarch carries the weight of their souls. The last king of this land, King Vendrick, as he was called. He found the strength to rule his people, and when the undead were born, cursed, he found more strength to face them. But in the end, he never took the true throne. Visit Vendrick. We have no need for two rulers.
So, she's just flat out telling us to usurp the throne. Like, Vendrick wasn't strong enough, he's not good enough. There's more that needs to be done, and he lacked the will, the resolve to do it. This is not all, but that's about as much interaction as we're going to have directly with Queen Nashandra for some time. And yes, you can clearly tell at this point something is very, very wrong with her. Notice we don't even get to approach her. Unlike every other NPC we interact with in this game, even those who can't really or shouldn't be killed, she is far away and will not come closer to address or to talk to us. Again, something is off. But now, to like sort of serve as a palate cleanser before we get into like the real end game, we have a really easy boss. A pair of dragon riders. One is going to stand up there and keep sniping at us periodically with a great bow, while the other one fights just like OG Dragon Rider back in Hade's Tower of Flame. Admittedly, the archer is the one you've got to look out for here, because those great arrows really, really hurt. Maybe if we fight, yeah, right up close to... Ah, there we go, brought him down. And the archer has no health. Like, none. He's already dead. One combo. Bam. Now it's just me and our good old buddy the Dragon Rider once again. Same fight. Much cooler arena like the Royal Treasury, or part of it. It is fitting, though, that we see Vendrick's, like, personal royal guard here again, after having only seen the one much earlier. And down they go. For our trouble, we do get another Dragon Rider soul, meaning we can access one more piece of the gear that they have to offer. Player we could summon into duel if we wanted. I do not want. Hey, it's good old Benart.
Well met, friend. Good to see you well. Yes, very good indeed. I journeyed from the distant east to perfect my swordsmanship. And legend has it that powerful beings slumber in this land. This sword has been in my family for generations, and only a real man can wield it true. I may face any man or beast, but none shall be a match for my sword. This land is a right mess, eh? King's gone. The people have a mad glint in their eyes. The land itself is overrun by terrible beasts. No better place to test my sword, eh? This land is...
Alright. So with that little dialogue from Benhart to send us off, we are going to end today's stream there. After nearly 4 hours of much better play, I think on the whole I did a much better job this time around than I have during our last two streams, which were both a little rough by Dark Souls 2 standards. We have made it into, like, the core of Castle Drangleic, and during our next Dark Souls 2 stream, probably tomorrow from 2 to 5, again, roughly, we are going to seek out King Vendrick, and clear out the rest of the castle's defenders, including one of my favorite bosses in the entire series, which will start the stream off. Seriously, we're like 5 minutes from it right now. I can't wait to dive into that, so until next time, thank you all so much to everybody who's watching this either live on Twitch or after the fact as a VOD on YouTube.com. I appreciate you all so much, and hope you'll join me next time for more Dark Souls 2. We are so close to the end game. We are so close to those fantastically crafted DLC. Can't wait to tuck in and share it with you all. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.